We talk about the importance of getting adjusted on a regular basis because there are factors that cause your spine to get knocked out of place. We want to talk about some of those factors. You know, the number one factor that causes misalignments is physical stress, So what's an example of physical stress? Falls, accidents, injuries, trauma, bad posture, sleeping the wrong way, and even stress itself can cause your spine to get knocked out of place. But one of the things I came to realize after all these years being in practice, people say, Dr. Ray, everybody is exposed to that, aren't they? And the answer is yeah. And that's why those regular weekly visits are extremely important. Because every time your body's exposed to stress and things get knocked out of place, it's cutting off the flow of life. And so what stress does to your body has to be undone. And a lot of times we have 10, 20, 30, 40 years of buildup and things come so far out of alignment that our body starts experiencing symptoms and medical conditions. But as our body gets better and better, you'll notice that the symptoms and the conditions are less and less. And our job is not only to get you healthy, but more importantly than getting healthy is staying healthy, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's the most important thing. You know what I find in all the years I've been in practice, and I've been in practice for 20 years, I find that most people, they know how to maybe get healthy, but staying healthy is another thing, isn't it? And so we need to not only get healthy, but stay healthy. And, I had the opportunity for the last 20 years to do so many outside talks and speak to so many different groups of people. And I find that when I go into different places that there are people that know a portion of health, but they don't know the whole picture of how to put things together. And we always start by saying the spine is the fundamental foundation for all health and healing. But there are, and I want you to write these down or remember these, there are other factors you need to become aware of. And one of those main factors is a component we call chemistry. And chemistry has to do with the foods we eat. It has to do with the supplements or nutrition that we take. It has to do with the toxins that we're exposed to in the food, air, and water supply. And it has to do with hydration or other drinks that we may put in our body, including sodas and teas and all this kind of stuff that's really not that good for you. And so what I want you to become aware of is that there are certain foods that are useful and beneficial in health and healing, and there are certain foods that are detrimental. And oftentimes, in order to break it down, whether a food is good for you or not good for you, I say that you have to think of two components. Number one, you have to think about whether the food you're eating is giving your body energy, or does your body need energy to break it down? So, the foods that give your body energy are vegetables primarily, some fruits, and nuts and seeds. Why? Because they contain energy. So if you take in a vegetable that has energy, like, we say the best way to take in vegetables is green juices. Like you juice kale and spinach and broccoli and cucumber, and then you drink it, it's going to give your body energy. And when your body has more energy, it can heal better. It has more energy, you can do more with it. So there are green juices is a great thing to take in on a daily basis. Plus, the thing about the juices is that they contain inside of them certain minerals and certain vitamins that are good for your body as well. But the key is that it gives my body energy. Okay, now, what kind of foods are going to make me tired? This is how you always know what kind of foods make you tired or not. If you eat food and then you get tired after, right? Let me give you an example. Like anytime we overeat like a Thanksgiving meal and we have a big meal and then we're like, oh, we're ready to go to sleep. That's not giving your body energy. That's depleting energy. So meats tend to cause your body to be depleted. However, that being said, some of you need good fats and need protein in your diet. And when your body doesn't have it, you'll feel depleted. And you need to know that about yourself. You need to know whether or not when you have protein, a protein could be fish. For those of you that eat meat or animal protein, you may need that. However, I want you to know that the key is really to cut out one main group of foods. Anybody know what it is? Carbohydrates. You got it. Absolutely right. See, a lot of times I ask people if they have sugar in their diet, and they say, no, I don't eat any sugar, and then you find out they have rice. And see, what they don't know is that the rice they're eating, or the pasta you're eating, or the bread you're eating in your body breaks down to sugar. So it is sugar. It doesn't look like sugar. Rice don't look like sugar, right? If you say, hey, are you having sugar? They say, no, I just have rice. Or no, I just have bread. Or no, I just have potatoes. What they don't know is potatoes, bread, rice, remember this, are called carbohydrates, and your body breaks down carbohydrates to sugar. Starch and sugar are the same exact thing. And we really want to limit the amount of carbohydrates to about 50 grams. So what's the problem with carbohydrates? We're going to tell you right now. The biggest problem with carbohydrates is that when your body breaks it down in the cell, it creates inflammation. Your body literally, when it breaks it down, creates inflammation. So let me give you a good example of what this is like. It's like when you try to create a fireplace and you want to burn something, there are two ways to do that. One is in the chimney. You can put wood in there and you put the fire on the wood, and what happens is this little smoke comes off, right? And that smoke in your body, when your cell metabolizes things, when it metabolizes sugar, is called oxidative stress. And that oxidative stress creates inflammation. And you know, so many times people have inflammation is the number one cause of all different types of disease. There are multiple causes why you have inflammation. One of them is a misalignment causing a block on the nerve. And number two is your eating regimen. You know how many people take anti-inflammatories? Advil, Tylenol, aspirin, Celebrex, prednisone. You know how many diseases have inflammation related to it? Let me give you an example. That's why they got all those itises. You ever hear somebody say, I got colitis, I got bronchitis, I got hepatitis, I got nephritis, I got arthritis. What does the word itis mean? Inflamed. So what are they telling you? They're telling you the part of their body that's inflamed. Nobody's telling them why it's inflamed. So you see, if somebody tells me their knees are inflamed, I say, okay, first thing we got to do is get power flow in there, and that'll start bringing life, and when there's more life, there's less inflammation.